lectures will be recorded, and you have access to this after the session is done. Can everyone see this, Mr. Ball? Can you give us a thumbs up over there, Mr. Plachis? Confirm. Is there a thumbs up? Yeah, there is a thumbs up, I think. Oh.
Yes, all good, sir.
Nice. Okay. Welcome back, chiefs, respective chiefs. Hi, Miss Paulson. Good to see you on as well. Welcome back for more. Is there more punishment? I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. Some of you guys I've met in S3 obviously this year. Some of you guys are my previous students in the previous year, and some of you guys are new guys haven't met me, and I look forward to meeting you guys. Okay, hi Mr. That's Mr. Mini there. I'm glad you also joined. Yeah, just what we're gonna do is just some basic introduction on how we're gonna be conducting lectures, assessments, how things will look. We have some words from the why, some of the experienced students guiding you on how to tackle this course. And you can ask basically anything. Guys, it's an informal session, be free. If you haven't met me, don't be scared of me, talk to me. I'm here to clear all the fog in your mind. I'm here to educate you. Yeah, and I want you to learn and take away something from this semester at least. But anyway, who am I? Let's move on. So guys, that's me, Mr. Skull, Matthew. You can call me either or. Hopefully you'll call me Dr. Skull in the next few years. I'm a mechanical engineer. I studied at Seapoot, did my national diploma, did my BTech, finished my master's degree last year. Got cum laude for that. 5% away from the summa cum. Yeah. In energy, so I'll talk about that. And also, I'm part of EXA as a Canon engineering technologist. Hopefully, I'll be a full professional by next year. Experience, I'm working mostly in the mechanical testing industry, both at the industry and academic level. And then eventually, I became a lecturer at CPUT with two other concurrent portfolios, which is the third teaching and learning rep and curriculum officer. Right. I think that last two portfolios will probably change into a researcher quite soon. So I'm not by any measure a marine engineer at all. However, I've through the years that I've worked at DMS, I've accumulated a lot of marine engineering knowledge in terms of the kind of systems you guys use, and yeah. In terms of my lecturing experience for the mechanical subjects, I've lectured all the mechanical subjects possible in the marine engineering diploma. So I've lectured all the I mean from S3 level to S4. And I've lectured in the S1 and S2. You can ask me anything, literally. I know everything. I've lectured all of them. You can engage with all the previous students. So I'm well equipped to handle or any questions or anything. But I mean, just know that I know a lot, just to assist you. And then in terms of projects which I'm currently busy with or my research interests, I'm big on the energy efficiency and management. I know with the marine guys, you guys you guys should have the SEEMP, the SEEMP plan typically on board just to manage the energy efficiency of your particular vessel. I know as a chief that's important. We don't obviously talk about that. So now you get your engineering operating index and design index. There's a big drive on that. But I particularly focus in both the residential, commercial, and industrial kind of applications of technology. But that's a domain on its own in terms of energy efficiency. Obviously, I'm also into renewable energy, mostly in the solar domain with both solar PV and thermal systems, with a particular focus in solar thermal heat pumps for water heating systems. I've started on some energy storage, particularly both thermal and mechanical energy storage. You can talk about that. And also one of my favorite things to do is basically writing up small programs or mathematical models and algorithms for engineering applications. One of my stronger points. And then at the end of it, I've neglected a bit of my material stuff in terms of final element analysis and engineering failure analysis. It's that to do with basic materials failing. I do feel I'm strong in those domains because I obviously I've done a few thousand tensile tests. But anyway, that's just about me. And yeah, I'm a very approachable guy. You can get me on WhatsApp during my consultation times, and yeah, just ask me any questions, man. I'm here to get you guys through. I want to remind you that the diploma is going to be phasing out next year, so please prioritize your life around this particular semester and your academic development, so you can get this out of the way. I am here for you to pass, but you have to put in the work. Yeah, I really want a lot of. We need more graduates because it's gonna be a bit hard to get in the bachelor program. You're gonna have to sit a whole another 1.5 years just to get another qualification. So I highly recommend you guys finishing this so you can go into your second engineer autos and obviously your chiefs later on if you have the accumulated seat time. Cool. Just consultation times, and I'll remind everyone again. Monday after lectures, these are my consultation times. I will remind everyone. Typically, you can consult me via WhatsApp or email. You're on the WhatsApp group. My phone number is in the public domain. So please just respect my times because I'm like super committed, and I had a bit of burnout towards the end of May. So I'm trying to like just make sure that I get this all right. So anyway, I have times you can consult me by, and I will definitely reply to you. You can ask anyone. And I'm unavailable the weekends. Because typically I'll respond weekends. So I'm trying to avoid working weekends. And Friday I have my research and project day. So I'm supervising a group of advanced diploma students at mechanical. So yeah, that I allocate a day for research and projects. So I'm just making sure those are my consultation times, and I'll surely will respond to you during that time, seeing that it's scheduled. Subject registered. I hope everyone has pulled their proof of registration, and it should look like that. That's basically the whole of S3 and S4. So make sure you have all these subjects, because if you're going to be missing one, you won't be able to graduate. You typically find some students don't have all the subjects, and then they cannot graduate. Another thing is for the new guys who have joined, who's been out of the game for some time, the academic game, like James, Mr. Ball, Petrus, guys, make sure your seat time is signed off. So please contact Ms. Leonie Lowe to sign off your seat times. I know and make sure you have registered the marine engineering practice. So make sure you send your seat time and your COC so they can sign it off. Otherwise, you won't graduate next year. A lot of students rather, didn't graduate because they didn't sign off their seat time. So I think I saw James did sign off for his seat time. I saw we were doing mock discussion that he did. So make sure you just follow that up.
Yeah, I'll double check that.
Sweet, cool. Make sure that's signed off, otherwise you won't graduate. I'm looking forward to seeing at least 30 graduates by December. Oh, sorry, by April at least. So yeah, get that done. What's next? Okay, so how are we conducting lectures? Well, we're already on here now. I'm writing this. It's on Blackboard Collaborate online. It will be done within our period slot. So I'll see you on the Mondays, 8:30 or probably 9 o'clock till 12. And then I see you also on basically from 12 o'clock till around 3:30. And that's on the Tuesday. That's our allocated time. I typically like to stream my lectures live. I don't like pre-recorded lectures. But I will do pre-recorded lectures for like solving particular problems which is challenging, maybe post on like the YouTube channel or whatever. So I will do things like that. But I typically I'm on time, not really on time, but I mean I'm there on our slot, and then we're conducting our sessions like synchronously. Will it be on campus? I'll think about it depending on a certain section of work. But I think online works well due for a few reasons. Number one, there's a lot of guys still working, and having online lectures recorded obviously provides a benefit. They can always go revise. Second thing, petrol is becoming expensive. I know some people are not working, some people at home, they can't afford to come to campus. That can also be a problem. Third thing, with our load shedding crisis, the best way to like make sure the lecture is done is at I'll have the session and I'll record it, and then we're all safeguarded by that. Because if you go on campus, load shedding, I can't share my slides, and I'm not going to be lecturing from a textbook. I find it very useless, especially with my lecturing style, as you'll come to find. I have a lot of moving pictures, a lot of illustrations for the understanding. Yeah, and then what would typically happen? I say a link will be sent to you. That's not necessarily true, but typically what we do nowadays, you just go under tools within your well, not actually tools. I've created a tab, but you can actually access the lecture during on the Blackboard platform. So yeah. And then on campus lectures, like I said, we'll discuss that. And plus, there is like maybe another wave coming up, but we'll figure that out as we go along. And lastly, you have access to all the sessions after the lectures is done, all the recordings rather. You can also download them, but I must just put that access on for each particular one. And if you want to download them, just tell me. Yeah, just communicate with me. Talk about this. Okay, so how to log into Blackboard? I think some of you guys already figured this out. Obviously, I'll probably post this lecture on either on YouTube just as an easy access, or I'll just post the link for the recording on the group. You need your student email, which will be your student number at mycpt.ac.za, and then your password would typically be the first 4 letters of your name at the last 4 letters of your ID number. Sorry, of your ID number, of your student number rather. Of your student number rather. So alternatively, you can contact CTS, which is the guys who basically help you with all internet access and network things, and they can obviously issue your password or reset your password for you. So that's how you can access Blackboard, and also your student email, in fact. Okay, so again with the lectures, it looks dope, looks great. I will share a slide just as is. You've got a board. I solve examples. It's exactly like in a classroom, in the comfort of your own home. And yeah, you'll see how it looks. And yeah, we will. This is just some part of the old slide, but like I said, we will figure out we'll be on campus. We already had on campus lectures last semester, and eventually we just stayed online. But we'll try to figure that out. Yeah. So anyway. Okay, how to access content, very important. I've already uploaded a lot of the content, or rather shifted it from the previous year to this year. So you're going to want to go to content over there. I think you can, maybe you can see my mouse. Go to content on the left-hand side toolbar, and if you click on there, you'll get everything from your formula sheet, your subject guide, the lecture slides, and all the individual pieces of materials are typically sent. Yeah, but we'll talk about that. That's how you access your content. And there's a tab for lectures, which was the next thing. So if you click on lectures, it basically takes you to the Blackboard Collaborate part, and you'll see all the sessions there. That's where you'll join. And if you want to access the recordings, you can just click that button over there with the 3 horizontal lines. You click on there, and then it'll pop up recordings. You click on recordings, and all the recordings will be there. So yeah, so you would have all the recordings there, obviously after we've done the actual lecture. Sweet. Yeah. Very important, our assessment approach. All assessments are done on campus. I'm talking about your written exams here. So we typically have 2 tests, which you all have during the course of the semester. And you write the final exam, which is of course worth 50%. That'll be on campus. So that is a definite. So guys who are on C, I want to make you aware that you have to come sit down and write. The only arrangements I've made for students after they provided me, they are on board a ship, and the so-called voyage, like the schedule of how they I don't know, the schedule. I typically have like that. I've had, particularly in the study week, I'll bulk the test there. So instantly, if you didn't write test 1 and test 2, you'll write it in the study week that time. That's the only thing I can do for guys who are on, who's actually working. And obviously that's a lot of pressure on them, but that's the only arrangement we can make, because it's not actually a distance course, it is a full-time course. I'm just making you aware. I do allow for that, but please don't exploit that. You have to set the whole another test. But anyway, all assessments are written on campus, yeah, with invigilation, of course. Okay, cool. So what I recommend doing, and why didn't I put this here? Oh, I did. Okay. Get the Blackboard app on your phone. That's on Play Store. I'm not sure what's on the Apple Store. Get that. You can get notifications on that. Get Outlook. Outlook is basically for your emails. Link up your student email on that, so you can basically get the notification. So once I post an announcement, you get it either on the Blackboard app or on your email. And plus, you can communicate with me on email. Just productivity apps, I recommend getting a Microsoft to-do list, obviously just to track on what you need to do. That's what I use. And so you can also get a Pomodoro timer, which basically, which in conjunction with putting your phone off, well, it's kind of funny. It basically kind of blocks your phone, and it basically gives you like these sessions where you focus for 30 minutes, take a 5-minute break or 10-minute break, or then just get the timer that helps for focus. I know a lot of people have struggled with focus. It's entirely up to you to get that app, but that's just my recommendations in terms of apps, and people will share more things. Okay, so textbooks. Those are the textbooks for electros. However, I will provide the electronic copy of these textbooks. Don't recommend buying it. What I recommend rather is that I'll post whatever you need to know. You can print it out and put it into like a LibreArch file rather. That would be best, because you don't need the whole textbook. I use different textbooks because I believe different parts of the textbook accentuates or articulate certain things better than other ones. So whatever I put on Blackboard is what you're gonna have to master. So you can, if you want a hard copy, get it printed, and then put it in a LibreArch file, and then you're basically done. The one we'll be using for moms is the last one, the Theory of Machines book. You can go buy that if you want. We're probably only gonna do around six chapters out of that textbook. Wouldn't recommend buying it. It's I think it's like $800. Once again, I will provide you with electronic copy of that book, so that you have the textbooks. It's a full textbook you have access to, by the way. And I just post the pertinent chapters for whatever the section is covering. So I'm just making you aware. Oh, the electrodes, yeah, you'll see. It's more of notes, but the Theory Machine is an actual textbook. If you want to get it, you can get it. It's perfectly fine. These are the other two textbooks we've used for Mechanics of Machines 2 and Strengths as well. There's some stuff in there. Strength of Materials, Trotsky, that's a textbook. I know I'm not lecturing that now, but that's the actual textbook. I recommend buying it because we don't have a proper electronic copy. So get that textbook for that. MEKs, yeah, talk to Dr. Lambert. Sure you guys are aware of this. I'm just obviously going over and above with other lectures textbooks because it's just as an orientation. I know he has all of those there. I know there's a question and answer thing as well. So just contact Dr. Lambert. I don't know. I think he sells it for $600 a pop, if I'm correct. I'm not particularly sure. Cool. An absolute must. You need to get yourself the Casio FX991 ES Plus. There is no way. I think this is the older look of the calculator. You need to get this calculator. It's going to help you for all your mechanical subjects, and you will see today why. So yeah, just get this as soon as possible. This is more important than getting textbooks. Let me put it like that. I highly recommend you get this particular calculator, and I think it's around 600, 800, and I'm not even sure how much it costs anymore. Yeah, so what I was going to do now was some basic revision. But before I start with my revision, I just wanted to ask you, is there any questions? And then I wanted the guys who've obviously done S3 and S4 previously just to give some words of wisdom. So is there any questions for the new guys? Any questions at all? Please be open and free. James, who else is here? James with the Plachis. Yeah, is Damon still here? Doesn't seem like they're here. Any questions? Yeah, he's here. Any questions? Go for it. James, I think you're muted if you are talking. And the previous guys, PJ, Mongezi, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, or online at least. Any questions, guys? And let's see where. No, it's not. It's not. It must be the plus. It has to be the plus. It absolutely has to be the plus. And you'll see why. Any other questions? You can unmute your mic, please. I'll give it around 5 minutes.
All right, then just where to find the calculator, because I've been searching and this is the only bastard one I could find.
Oh, take a lot on Skype, CNA. I'll type to refer you some places.
All right.
Yeah. Please get this one. You'll see why. It's gonna make your life so much easier. Cool. Any other questions?
So this Casio, whatever this 91ZA plus 2 is not. I've got this. It's it's a 991ZA plus 2.
Send me a picture. I'll have a look at it.
All right.
Yeah, cool. Okay, let me get some of the veterans here. Mr. Breed, any words of wisdom in terms of online lectures, studying, the studying schedule, yeah, things like that. I'd like to hear your leadership here.
Well, for myself, I have 9 subjects. So all I can really say is if you focus in class, it makes those 9 subjects, it lowers your workload around 50%. There were some points where I dozed off in a class and I felt it afterwards. So definitely pay attention. Otherwise, online classes, you'll find some lecturers do it well, some don't. Mr. Sko is one of those who does it really well. So there's no problems there. But really, the most basic thing I can say is just if you focus in the class and you pay attention there, it makes it a lot easier when it comes to the exams. And don't try study the day beforehand. It's not going to work. Too much work.
Thank you, Mr. Breed. Fantastic. I like to hear Mr. Duplessis. I think Mr. Duplessis got only distinctions. Yeah, no, I'll remind them, Mr. Mongezi. So, Mr. Duplessis, please share some of your expert advice there. I hope you're still listening.
Hi, sir. Yes, I'm listening. I don't really have much to add on to Vian. It's pretty much the same. You just got to tackle your work every single day, otherwise you fall behind, and you can fall behind very fast. That's pretty much it. And obviously don't study the day before, just like Vian said.
Sweet. Okay, let's get Huda Nalo. And then I'm gonna get Nosipo after that. Huda, are you there? Are you sleeping already? Nosipo, if you're there, please. Some words of wisdom. Another top student.
No, my mic wasn't working there. Yes, I agree with Jared and Vian. Exactly what they said. Yes, just keep focus.
Fantastic. Nosipo.
As they said, just focus and also work in groups if you get a chance. Also working in groups helps.
Yes. Thanks, Mr. Silva. And rewatching lectures. A lot of students don't rewatch the lectures. We have all the recordings there. Another thing is reach out to me if you don't understand something. Everyone can attest to that. I will assist you. Mr. Swanepoel, you want to say something? Then I'll get to Alex afterwards.
Yeah, we are like a community, so just if you don't understand anything, feel free to reach out, but also do your part.
Nicely said, man. Nicely said. And then Mr. Whirling, Alex, give us your tips, your studying tips.
Hello?
So on.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man.
Perfecto. Yeah, for my study tips is I found the best is to actually, when you watch Mr. Sko go through stuff, that you actually go back again to the recordings and you watch it like once or twice over, because that helped me just rewatching how the examples are done, and then you almost build your own method of solving things. And also by keeping like some of the students on your phone and saying, hey, what did you get for this sum? And they send you their workings and whatnot.
Sweet. That's perfect. And then I'll just close off with my brother, Mr. Padimang Sasha Sima. Any words of wisdom?
Nah, not. I don't have much to say, but we just have to like do the most of the work early on so that we don't get a lot of work like at the end. So we're busy cramming now. We're not learning to understand.
Yeah, sweet. So okay, that's I thank you guys. I really appreciate that. I do want to say I really want to understand. I want you guys to pass. Like this, I think this is my last year on the diploma. Yeah, if you're working and studying, say goodbye to sleep. Yeah, okay, Mr. Silvaz, I think I should ask her as well on her experience. I really want you to pass. This thing is gonna close, but you have to put in the work. Don't feel I'm trying to fail you. I want you to have a great experience, like I said. And I really want my students to pass. I'm being freak honest with you here. And what I tend to find is that people, they don't remain focused. You have to fully commit to this. Your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, everything has to stop, especially in S4. S4 demands a lot of you. It's super intense. And you have to have a very strict schedule. I mean, I'm even to a point where I would recommend watch what you eat, start exercising. It's going to require a lot of you. I can assure you that. But like with Swan said, we're all community, and we want to get everyone through this. Mr. Silva, do you want to add something with your experience? I mean, she passed as well. Yeah. In terms of work and studying. We're going to type something rather. Mr. Mongezi has my old tradition here, but anyway, 49% is a fail, 50% is a pass, 51% is a distinction, and 52% is negating your family and friends. So true, so true. I have to definitely recap on that one. It's a lot of work, guys. A lot of work. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to do some very basic revision for the guys who I'll just end off here, but for the guys who obviously have done this, you don't have to. The guys who you don't have to attend really. I'm just going to demonstrate how the class is going to look. They can ask some questions. It's more of an open session, and yeah, and then we'll close it by 1 o'clock. Anyway, so what is your responsibility? I just want to mention.
Sorry.
This. Oh yes, fantastic.
Sorry, I went up by accident. The only thing I want to say is in terms of working and studying, the only thing you can do is attend all the classes if it's possible. If not, rewatch the recordings multiple times, because that's what I did. If you don't understand something the first time, you have to go back and ask a lot of questions. If you don't understand anything, ask lots of questions. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, you're never going to know what's going on.
Thank you, Mr. Silva. And I think that's important. Guys, ask me questions. Don't be scared to ask me questions. I'm not this demon or some sort. I really want you guys to learn. So ask me. You pay your school fees to gain knowledge, and that is why I'm here. You can ask anyone, all my students here. I always attend to questions. So please ask me. So I want to get you through this. Yes. So in terms of what's expected by you, check your announcements on Blackboard and via email. I'm not going to be telling you check this, check that. Always check your Blackboard, like you check your phone. Make it a habit. I'll post content, I'll post tutorials, extra work. Make sure you take notes and solve examples during lectures. So once I'm presenting lecture, I have a textbook open. I think I should have actually mentioned have a conducive space to work. Have a desk. Don't sit in your bed and do it. Especially for my subjects. or any of the mechanical subjects, sit like you're in a classroom, focused, and take notes, solve examples, do the lectures. Like Vian said, if you follow my logic through the as the lecture works, it helps a lot, because when you are solving examples, I do throw some practice examples within there. You're actually practicing, you're actually studying, but don't sit and watch me. It'll be your biggest mistake. That's the way my style works, and it works very well, I think. Number 3, ask questions and engage. Any question, no matter how small, ask. You pay to ask questions, and for me to give you a quality answer. So please ask questions. The reason why I like questions is that sometimes I might overlook or underlook something, the importance of something, for instance. So if you tell me, sir, I need more examples, sir, I don't like that. I'll try to find something to explain it better. Maybe I'll send you a YouTube video. Maybe I'll create a YouTube video, or that kind of thing. As in red, it says complete all the exercises in the notepad. And what I essentially mean by that, so once I do a lecture, I teach a concept. I'm not teaching to solve examples. A concept and approach how to solve a problem, right? What you do is take that concept and approach, and you go attempt, like you download like a software, you get updated, and then you use a new software to solve the problems. Try to do as much as possible. I don't think you have to do all, but if you get the core concept, you should be all right. But typically you want to complete all the exercises just so that you have all the experience under the belt. Again, complete all the tutorials as per lecture instruction. I will give you some extra tutorials to do. Some of the tutorials, you might find some of the exam questions are there. I will tell you what is the level. I go to a point where I show you how all the marks, how you get marks, so you know what's in the important steps. Last one, as Mr. Silver said and Mr. Veerling, watch the lectures again. It's there for you. It's literally there for you 24/7, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. I'm not sure if it's still free. Watch it over. I recommend watching additional YouTube videos. We know we've got our good Indian friends who a lot of the content is similar, and they essentially they sometimes do it better. And yeah, just watch more YouTube videos. It's not about me. I'm not God. It's as long as you get whatever you need from wherever, so you can pass the whatever particular subject. Another thing I do recommend, have a rigid study schedule, 3 to 4 hours a day minimum. It has to be that much. I don't know how you typically break it down, but try to go in some exercise, a jog, some weight training as well. It helps with the energy as well. So make sure you have a strict study schedule, 3 to 4 hours a day minimum. It's that intense for at least 5 days of the week. And you can have your beer on the Friday and chill the Saturday, and then get back in on the Sunday. And even for the guys who are in S3, S4 is not like S3. It's way more intense. So make sure you manage your work nicely. And there's a lot of concepts. I was speaking to Mr. Mbani, was it 2 days ago, and I told her we did around 28 chapters worth of mechanical engineering topics across the 4 subjects. It's a lot of content. So obviously it's going to require a lot of you. But one thing I can assure you, you can do it. That's an utmost definite. It's not about intelligence. It's all about hard work, discipline. That's what I believe. I don't believe in talent. I don't believe in intelligence. I believe if you commit to do something and you want to do it, do it. Put in the hours. Hard work pays. Nothing else. Erase all your insecurities about not intelligence. Just put in the work, put in the hours, ask the questions, and you'll be fine. Cool. There is academic rules and regulations. I recommend going over it just as a formality. Like in terms of reassessment rules and things like that. Take some time to look at it. About SIG tests and things like that. If you really want to look at it, I recommend just going through that. Specifically with the reassessment stuff and assessment rules and things like that. Anyway, that's the end of that part. Then we'll go on to revision. So any questions, guys? For the guys who want to stay for revision, you can stay. But what I'll essentially be doing is showing them how I'll be conducting a lecture, or how I'll be solving problems rather. Excuse me. Any questions, guys? Let me see. Let me go pick on some people. Oh, Masambo. Hi. Mr. Ball, any questions? James, any questions? Mr. Mart. Oh, hi, Miss Precious in Zalama Sambo. Go for it. Your hands up, but you're not saying anything. I'm not sure you're saying hi. Okay, just some basic revision again. So no questions yet. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to be doing now, guys, obviously this is not an official lecture. The official lectures will start next week, but I'm just going to do a quick revision on electrical circuits. We're going to try to solve one. So it's more of a demonstration versus a lecture. Just a quick recap. If you guys remember your basic electrical circuits from electrodes 1, we have two types of circuits, either series connection or a parallel connection. What's important in a series circuit is that the current remains the same. It's like having, you could imagine having like, I guess, yeah, well, that's that. It's fine. Anyway, lost my train of thought there. Current's the same in all the resistors over there, or it's the same throughout the whole circuit. Second thing is the voltages are, we have to add the individual voltage or the total voltage. So like I mentioned in electrodes 2 is, think of the voltage source as providing the power, or think of it as a full tank of water, and it provides a certain amount of energy to each resistor. Sounds a bit vague now. I'm not happy with the way I'm explaining. But anyway, so total voltage is, for instance, say 30 volts. And depending on the size of the resistor, the voltage will be split accordingly between the resistor 1, resistor 2, resistor 3. Long story short, we add up the sum of the voltages of each individual resistor, and it should equal the total voltage. I know some of you guys know this already. And to the total resistance, what we just typically do, we add them up algebraically, just one, like, R1 plus R2 plus R3 to get the total equivalent resistance. You guys are aware of that. Very basic stuff. Parallel circuit, you could say it's kind of the converse of it, where the voltage, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4 branches, not one long branch, and the voltage source will be exactly the same for each individual branch. So that's at R through R1, if the voltage is, for argument's sake, 10 volts, the remain 10 volts at R1, R2 get the same, and R3 get the same, 10 volts. Obviously, from that, the current splits. So the total current produced by the voltage source will split into 3 components, which will be the current in the first one, the current in the second one, and R2, and the current in the third one. I think we all know this algebraically. And I mean, just like, as you know how to count it, because when you're doing AC circuit, it's a different thing, which is another part of the revision. And obviously, your equivalent resistance for a parallel circuit will be 1 over R, that's the total, equals to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. There is something called the product sum rule. And yeah, what I'm planning to do is collate my recordings for electrodes 2 for those who need revision on particular sections. I don't know if you guys would like that. So I need to actually do that, so that you guys can go back and go watch previous recordings if need be, and obviously can engage with me on certain things. The guys who are rusty, but typically you'll see by next week I do go over the core concept. The core concepts of what we need to know, because a lot of electrodes 3, you need a lot of electrodes 2 backing. That's one thing I can assure you. MOMS is a bit better, because it's only like one. Yeah, you don't need too much of MOM 2 for MOM 3, so not too much of it anyway. But the reason why electrode 3 has a pass rate of around 40 to 45% is because of poor backdrop of the revision. Hence, I'll have to figure it out. Cool. So, Mr. Ball, are you familiar with this? With the Plachies, are you happy? James, I'm deliberately picking on the guys who are, is this familiar to you? Do you still remember this? Megan, can you still remember this? Fantastic, cool. I have to revise. There we go. That rust. We saw thick that rust is 100 more rust. Mr. Plachies, yes.
Yes, please do the revision, man, because I'm already starting shaking here because I forgot all these things.
Yeah, so I'm telling you now, it's going to be hectic, but that's why that recording is going to help you. But I'm here, don't worry. I'm here to catch you when you fall. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how because that's what I did last semester. What I typically do, I like to shock my students. I remember Mr. Duplessis was still in like everyone got a wake up call to see what you need to know. So that is what I'm basically doing. I am waking up to what level you need to be to survive. So I don't waste time, essentially. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to solve this example and I'll demonstrate to you exactly how it's going to look. So just give me a moment. I'm just opening my whiteboard and I will share my whiteboard with you, or blackboard or whatever you call it. Where's my background? I want it black. Sweet. Okay. So we stop sharing this, then I'll be sharing my blackboard. Just let me know you can see it. That's the question. So obviously this is a super easy question, I think. Can you guys see it? Is it clear? Can everyone see it? Mr. Ball, Mudanalo, thank you. Can you read the question? So for the guys who are rusty, pull out your books. Get a book in front of you. What the question wants, let me read it to you. Calculate the current flowing through the 30 ohm resistor. That's over there. In this figure 7.31b, I move the figure number. So calculate the total current going through the circuit. And then the second part, which the reason why that's there is to show you what kind of level one needs to be at in terms of questioning, especially at the S4 level. What additional resistor value of resistance would have to be placed in parallel with the 20 and 30 ohm so that we get a total current of 8 ohms. So you're kind of working backwards now. So that's going to be quite interesting to see who can figure that out. So that's more of an advanced question. But I'd like you guys to try. Okay, I'll do the first part rather, just to demonstrate to you how it looks. It's more of a demonstration, like I said. Okay, so I've got a graphics tablet over here. And let me just sort my pen out. My pen is here. Cool. First thing is first, right? We want to reduce this to a simple type circuit. And these two guys are in parallel, if you agree with me. And what we're going to do is find the equivalent resistance of the 20 and 30. So obviously, guys, just bear with me. You know, some of the guys don't know the new approach. So let me just this equal. So it's 1 over 20 plus 1 over 30. And obviously, we can plug this in our calculator, right? So let me share something else again. I know some people are rusty with the calculator work as well, so I'll just quickly share my calculator as well. It's a lot of revisions that we need in electro. So we go 1 over 20. So Mr. Ball, that's a calculator, eh? That's the one you want. And that's 1 over 30. It's equal, and we get 1 over 12. Or alternatively, if I click on that, I'll get, what mode is this? Is that 0.083? Is that reoccurring probably? Let me just have a look at this. So it's 1 over 20. Any questions thus far? Any nightmares? It's 1 over 30, right? I think it was. So let's call it 1 over 12. Yeah, I think it's 0.833. Just want to make sure quickly. Yeah, it should be. Okay, yeah, it means reoccurring. I think that's an updated thing. So 0.83333. So I'll stop sharing there. Mr. Ball, go for it, man.
Yeah, how do I get it to stop displaying in the fraction? I need a decimal.
Press the S to D thing. S to D. SD. It's above the power button. The delete button, actually. You got it.
Hold on. The what? The what button?
The delete button.
The delete.
It's like an S to D kind of thing.
Yeah, all right.
You got it.
Yeah, but I get a different answer. I get 0.02.
Check. It's 1 over 20 plus 1 over 30.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done. I'm still flip it around. It's supposed to be 12. I don't know if you recall that. I'm still flip it around. Sorry. The actual answer is 12. 12 ohms. My bad. Bit of rusty. Because it's 1 over. That's a total, and it's 1 over 12, right? And we have to raise it to the power -1. It's actually not right here. How do you get it? It's 1 over 20 plus 1 over 30. Yeah, it should be 1. It should be 12. But now you got that answer. Just remove that. It's 1 over 12. Yeah. So it's 12 ohms. Right, so we have 12 ohms over there. Oops. Any questions, guys? Demonstration. I know some of the other guys, it's Mr. Boss frantically punching his calculator. Platchies, any questions? James. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to school.
I'm unfamiliar with the bloody calculator.
Yeah, no, that's why I deliberately do this kind of thing. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So what this does is, obviously now our circuit looks a bit different, or not necessarily different or whatever. But now we just have, let me just zoom it out, the super easy example really. So that's a 64 volt DC source, and we still DC. We've got the 4 ohm resistor over here, and this becomes a basic 12 ohm resistor. So that's false. Okay, cool. So that's the equivalent resistance of the 12 and the 30. It represents as a 12 series resistor. I want the total current, and some of the new guys, can you please tell me how do I find the total current? I'll wait for you to tell me. It's a series circuit now. Not my veterans. Ashipala, Mr. Zita. Hi, Mudai.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
It's gonna be your current 4 plus your current 12.
You mean your resistor, not current?
Plus yes, I1 plus I2, right?
Yeah, but
I think.
no, it's the same. It's the same current. Remember, it's the same current. So V equals IR. So it's going to be I is V over R, 64 divided by 12 plus 4. I know you guys you're supposed to be agreeing with me. Remember the series circuit, Muda? That's the same current going through each of the resistor. Or did you forget already? So we should get 4 amps.
Yes. Gotcha.
Cool. So our total current going through this whole branch, or in this particular thing, let me just get my pen back. Give me a yellow cookie. Once again, I'm shocking you here. I'm well aware of what I'm doing. So I total is 4 amps. So 4 amps is circulating through this thing. Okay. Purpose of the question is they want it flowing through the 30 ohm resistor, right? So that means we have to disassemble the 12 again, and it will basically look as the previous circuit. So what it looks like is this, if you guys can recall this. So I'm just zooming out this particular portion. Just bear with me here. Oh, behaves, listen to me. Okay, cool. So we have over here the current coming in of 4 amps. However, it is splitting now at this 2 particular portions of 20 ohms. Guys, if any questions, please ask. Like I said, it's a demonstration. So obviously just forgive me for it's not in line. So the current is going to split between the 20 ohm and the 30 ohm. Right? That is correct. I mean, obviously that's the idea. Who has any idea of how to solve this? Well, there's obviously no current division. I'm talking to the older guys. What's the other alternative we can do to solve this problem? How do we solve the current in the 30 ohm resistor? That's the purpose of this particular question. Oh, sorry about that. It's taking long, eh? Should have been done already. Okay. Alex, you skipped electrons too, eh? Yeah, you can do current division, you can do voltage division. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I know the top dogs
Yes,
can
sir.
do it. Yeah. I mean, yes. So, what's the one way of doing this?
Yo. All I know is I'm definitely gonna have to go read through the stuff again. I passed in 2015, but yo,
No, sure. Okay, no, cool.
2020.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. That's why I'm doing this, because I realized that is my lack in all the other times I was offering the subject. I assume that people, yeah, I mean, like, it's unfair, but I'm not putting you guys through. Nevertheless, where am I? So to get the current in this particular thing, we need to find the voltage across the 12 ohm resistor, right? So how are we going to do that? So the voltage in the 12 ohm resistor will be the current, total current, times the resistance value of 12. So in this case, it's going to be 4 times 12, which will give you what? 48 volts. How do I know this is correct? Because it cannot be more than 64 volts, right? Obviously, the voltage in the what is this, in the 4 ohm resistor should be 64 minus 48, and it should be 16 volts. So this is actually carrying 16 volts. That takes that much, and this is 48 volts. Once you have the voltage over here, the voltage across this particular branch, or over here, from here to here, we measure from there to there, the voltage will be 48 volts. And the voltage in a parallel branch is the same, right? So therefore, to find the current in the individual thing, it'll be 48 volts divided by 30, and we should get, so that's the current in the 30 ohm, the subscript 30 there, so that's 48 divided by 30, which will give you 1.6 amps. Cool. And then just to confirm, it should be a total of 4 amps. So if I do I subscript 20, the current going through the 20 ohm resistor, that'll be 48 divided by 20. This stuff makes you super sharp. When Mr. Ball, if you add 1.6 plus 2.4, you get a total of 4 amps. Welcome to S4. It's not even the start yet. This is DC. We don't even do D. Okay, we do some DC machines. Guys, are there any questions? You're free to discuss anything. Mr. Mart, are you ready for me? Tsepo loves me. He's always coming back. Mr. Paul, James, Plachis, the Plachis, any questions?
Yes, I'll be waiting for that revision, sir. Definitely.
Okay. Please don't wait on me. It's your biggest mistake. You better start getting the letters 2 textbook. Lots of revision for me. Yeah, and Mr. Welling, yeah. Yes. Damon?
Sir?
You're fighting with the calculator there. Yes, go for it, Chief.
Sir, can I ask a question quickly outside this? Sir,
yeah, no, it's fine.
You mentioned something about you have to rewrite if you have to rewrite. Now, I'm very scared of what's his name when you have to do if you have a sick test or something like that. Is your sick test also so very difficult?
No, it's not. Don't be honest with you. It's not difficult.
Okay, because
what I tend to find is if you plan for the sick test as a student, you always kind of compromise yourself because you bulk your cramming work. I've seen it happen so many times. Unless you're obviously very sick, it's not difficult. I can assure, it's exactly on the same level. This work you cannot cram. I'm telling you this. It's very difficult to. It follows a story all the time. You need basics of the previous semester or the basics of the other thing. That's how it works. Yeah. Any other questions? James, maybe? But you definitely can do it. I'm not discouraging it anyway, but you have to put in the work. It's definitely, if I can do it, then I'm pretty sure you can do it. That was an easy one. Mr. Brett, did you solve the second part of the question? We don't have to do it. I can leave it for homework for people. Knocking rust off here, but all good. Fantastic. That's the point. Mr. Ball, you quiet. I was enjoying you engaging.
Just battling with the calculator, but I'll figure it out.
Okay, sweet, fantastic. Okay, guys, that's basically all. I don't want to overwhelm you too much. Some of you guys must pray and meditate. Some of you guys must go to your sangomas. You know, there are those things. I know Mr. Sima does things like that, Mr. Msongo. Yeah, must go to your ancestors and pray. And for mental fortitude for the next few months. It's only 15, 16 weeks, guys. Yeah. Mr. Bo, you have something to say? Muda?
Oh, sir.
You
Our
wanna say something,
ancestors
Muda?
need to be attending with, need to attend
I'm
with
just
us. We
teasing you
must
guys.
all be one.
No, I'm just teasing you guys, man. You know. I'm gonna post this question in the group, and then I want to see who can give the answer first. Just gonna post it quickly. Try it out and see. If you really want a solution, I can send it to you. But this is not even electrostry work. Anyone got spare S4 multi for me? Short change, yeah. Okay, guys, any questions? I think I'll close it for you. I had some more revision, just to make you aware that I do. Mr. Moore, how did you find the lectures? Me solving the problem, Mr. Plachis? Were you able to follow? James? Were you able to follow? Do you think you can do this? This is the other revision I had here, Kirchhoff's and then, you know, our basic AC circuit over here. This is the actual revision I had wanted to get through. Yeah. Yes, follow that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is how we essentially conducting the lectures, give or take. Obviously a bit better. Can follow will be better when I'm more familiar with the calculator. Yeah, but let me know if you're struggling with anything. I can surely assist you with that. Highly recommend getting in the Casio. Yeah, so just to close off, you guys might be asking why you need the Casio, because we'll be working with a lot of complex numbers for electrotechnology 3. In fact, the whole 90% of the 95% of the subject, you have to work with complex numbers. So what I mean by that, I don't know if you recall complex numbers, and I don't want to make that a nightmare for you, but the cool thing about the Casio, this Casio in particular, the F+, is that it has a complex mode, and you're able to work out complex numbers. So for instance, I'm just going to do a small, very small demonstration again. 3 plus, you go I over there, sorry, you go 5. I represents the J. That represents, this 3 plus 5I is like one sine wave. 2 plus 2I, click equal, it gives you the answer for whatever that is. What we typically do, we don't like this in rectangular form, we want it in polar form. We click the shift, 2, 3, and or the polar form of that at a particular angle. It might not make sense to the guys who are rusty now, but other guys do understand why. I'm just showing you why this is important. There's a lot of other things you can do as well, which I'll show you. Muda, didn't you know that? Oh, Muda, you didn't do electros too. Oh, flip. Yeah. Oh, I forgot again. So the ones who did electros too with me are fortunate. Yeah, you got probably one of the best in terms of tricks and approaches to solve these problems. Mr. Mambisa, I didn't hear anything from you. I want some words of wisdom in closing from you. Then we're done, and I'll just stop the recording there. On the end of strong. Annelise,
Yeah, so I also didn't do electros from last semester, but I do recall a few things. In terms of words of wisdom, yeah, you must just put in the hard work. Like you said, hard work is better. Yeah.
true. Yeah, and Ms. Mabisa got a nice distinction nice, well-deserved distinction for moms last semester. I mean, that's the but it's work, guys. No sleep. Sleep is for the dead, they say. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for attending. I will see you on Monday. The floor is open for any conversations. I'll stop the recording, the official thing here.